Hello. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about public talk with a focus on unplanned genres of the spoken language. And in particular, I will focus on the interaction of the language class as a specific genre of unplanned public talk that is of interest to us. To do so, I will first define the notion of public talk. I will then refer to the genres that are found within unplanned public talk. After that, I will describe classroom interaction in English as an instance of academic spoken language, and I will then refer to the work of Sinclair and Coulthard as a seminal study. Then I will continue with the works of more recent researchers such as Seedhouse, Willis, and Hewings, who describe the peculiarities of interaction and its structure in the class. Let me begin by saying that public talk is defined as the spoken interactions that take place in our everyday life with people that we do not know well as we go to work, shop, visit the doctor, and other environments. It is mainly transactional, though there might be elements of interactional nature. Public talk takes place in worlds that are the worlds of education, business, media, and other professional contexts with a range of different audiences. The spoken genres of public talk contain characteristic structural features that we recognize from previous experiences, that is, from previous encounters with these genres in the public domain. Public talk can then be categorized as planned or unplanned. Among unplanned public talk genres, it is possible to identify the following: service encounters, which might be business or professional, that is, talking with people in business or professional fields; classroom interactions, courtroom language, media talk, including chat shows, radio phone-ins, sports commentaries, and public information language, for example, the language used in air control. Since we will focus in this presentation on classroom interactions as the genre we will describe today as an exponent of unplanned public talk, let me also add that from an English as an additional language perspective, classroom interaction belongs to a group of genres that can be found in English for academic purposes contexts. That is, in educational contexts and training settings in which English is taught as an additional language, as well as used to learn academic subjects. Let me begin our analysis of classroom interaction by saying that Sinclair and Coulthard's analysis, that is, the exchange structure approach, was a foundational work. In the 1970s, they provided us with a definition of classroom interactions that we still keep to our day as a definition of what the genre is. Classroom talk is a type of interaction that is characterized by its educational purpose or function, and it contains a structured pattern that can be described as constituted by a nested hierarchy of categories. Note the use of the terms, a nested hierarchy of categories, to signify that there is a pattern in which there are embedded elements with different categories and functions that operate as subcategories and subfunctions within a main function, which is an educational one. In their time, Sinclair and Coulthard identified the following: the lesson, transaction, exchange, move, and act. If we were to draw an image of the structure from Sinclair and Coulthard's analysis, let me take Bax's image, which is quite clarifying. It would look more or less like this, as you can see in the diagram. All the interaction of a class consists of the lesson. Within the lesson interaction, there are stages of the class that are interactionally marked as units, which we call transaction. Every class contains different teaching moments, that is, different transactions, that are discursively realized with smaller units of interaction that hang together, the exchanges. Exchanges contain moves and moves acts. An act is the smallest item within classroom interaction, while a move is a set of at least 2 acts realized by different participants in classroom interaction. Let us consider the example given by Sinclair and Coulthard. In this interaction, the teacher starts the interaction by saying, "Why did they build pyramids?" and then nominates a student, Paul. The first act is an elicitation act, and the second one is a nomination act. Both acts are part of an opening move in the interaction. The response that is given by the student: when they were dead, they put all their riches and everything they owned in their pyramid. The student is answering, and that reply is a reply act. And the student's reply consists of just one act. Note that the follow-up move given by the teacher with "yes, they did," "yes," is an evaluation, and then a comment, "right in the depth, in the heart of the pyramid," and so on. So note that in the response given by the teacher, there are 2 acts for one move. That is the follow-up move. So this opening, answering, and follow-up moves constitute an exchange. Let's listen to an example and try to identify the acts, moves, and exchanges.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a photograph very, very quickly, okay? And I want you to tell me what you can see and give me details about where it is, on the right, on the left, in the middle, okay? Are you ready? It's very fast. 3, 2, 1. Isabel.
There's a little boy who is like with a costume.
A costume. Okay. Kevin.
There are 2 people and 1 statue.
Uh-huh. Why do you think it's a statue?
This extract of classroom interaction shows a single exchange in which there are several moves and many acts. It is interesting to note that in the case of the teacher, every move contains several acts, while in the case of students, a move consists just of one act. This is something quite revealing of classroom interaction, and a feature that is taken up by other researchers who investigate classroom talk more in depth.